welcome in to the Meltdown. We appreciate you being here with us on this live Tuesday edition of the show. Today on the program, we'll be talking about that new Alien Romulus trailer that has dropped in full and has got us pumped for the month of August at the Cineplex. One of the big TV shows of the summer set to stream tonight on Disney+. Will the Acolyte deliver for Star Wars fans hungry for a new experience, or will it lead to even more division and frustration throughout the fan base? The newest Lunce's List will profile the 5 things the next Nintendo Switch needs to include as Nintendo continues to remain a console contender. And we will make sure we update you on where we'll be on Friday here as we take the show on the road for the very first time. It's all happening right here on the Meltdown as we are presented by MyBookie and broadcasting live from the Culver studio.
2 big boys in a tiny studio, teaching you and me about everything they know to make sound. A meltdown, it's the meltdown, time for the meltdown, coming for the meltdown, let's start the show.
Yes, indeed, the show has officially started. We appreciate all of Meltdonia being patient for our arrival here as we are with you a little bit later than expected on a Tuesday. But we've been working through a few bugs in the system. We've made it through thanks to Solution Man stepping up to the plate and being here to bring us all around the campfire. Mr. John Lunsford, my co-host. John, how are you doing on this lovely Tuesday?
Life can't exist without the internet. We currently have no internet here. How are we online, you ask? Well, I figured it out. But currently, we are without our Wi-Fi that we normally use. However, we're online, and thanks to the wonderful cell phone, I have some internet access. Anyway, here we are.
Yes.
Everything's good.
John, you're the MacGyver of getting us connected to the internet. You used a paper clip and some gum, and you rubbed 2 sticks together, I believe, and that ended up somehow connecting us magically. But we are so happy to be here with the live audience. Part of the crew today, that is Mr. Tyler Johns, our producer back there, making things happen, handling all the pressure, and feeling the adrenaline of live broadcast.
Oh, yeah. I tried to get it fixed. I could not. We needed John to MacGyver everything.
That's why John is here. Hey, Tyler, I know you'll be happy about this. According to a new report from IndieWire, Godzilla Minus One is now the first film in history to occupy the #1 spot on both Netflix and iTunes simultaneously. The new record comes only days after the film had a surprise release on the streaming service, quickly shooting to the #1 spot, and it's a movie worthy of all the praise.
Absolutely. This is such a good movie. It's honestly very Jaws-esque, but with Godzilla as the villain instead of Jaws.
It does have some
It's
Jaws
amazing.
flair to it, for sure. It is in subtitles for those that maybe aren't prepared for that going in, but I think you could enjoy this just visually seeing Godzilla do Godzilla things, John. He's a menacing monster in this, and it's one of the few Godzilla movies where you're actually emotionally connected to the people on the ground, the characters that are looking to avoid the wrath of Godzilla. It does a perfect balance of human story and making Godzilla a true monstrous figure.
It does, which makes what he did, even though it's ultimately less destruction than we're going to get in any American Godzilla movie, it made what he did, very minor. It made it mean so much more because you actually care about the people. Now, when I see the ones here, I don't want that. I want the destruction of the world, basically. In that one, he's just destroying one town, but that is enough to make you really care about everything, and it's just a really well-done movie, and it's not about Godzilla being on the screen the whole time like it is in the American movies, whether it's Godzilla, Kong, whoever it may be, whatever monster, that, when he pops up on the screen, it means something more than that.
It certainly does. One person that's been popping up on a bunch of screens and also having to shut down their upcoming tour that was planned, that is Jennifer Lopez, Rockstar.
Oh.
And I know you're a huge fan of Jenny from the block. We learned after the show last Friday that Jennifer Lopez had to cancel her This Is Me Now tour. She stated that it was so she could spend more time with family and friends. After seeing staggeringly low ticket sales Are you buying the statement of spending more time with family as being the official reason as to why J-Lo had to cancel the tour?
I thought you said about a month and a half ago when this tour started, you said ticket sales were low and that she then changed it to a greatest hits show.
That is correct.
And then, so now she is in the news with Bennett. I don't know if they're divorced or split up. I don't know.
Supposedly they're living in separate residences.
Okay.
Yeah, it's reached that phase.
That's going to ruin my Tuesday. That's almost as bad as not having internet. So I feel bad for her. This was her now, you know what I'm saying? But, so no, this is another excuse. It's just like out of nowhere. I didn't know the Black Keys were having a huge American tour starting this fall, and they have canceled all dates because the rumor is low ticket sales.
Yeah.
Like every date was canceled. So it was like a stadium tour. So ticket sales are a problem. The prices are so high, and it's just like, do we want to go out for $300 to see the Black Keys? When I like 3 songs, but do you want to experience that and get a $17 beer and stuff? And I think that's another thing with Jennifer Lopez. She's an actress more than a singer to me, and I'm not a great actress.
How many of the Jennifer Lopez potential greatest hits could you name? I mean,
Jenny from the Block, that's
Block.
it.
Yeah, I'm with Rocky. I can only name Ginny from the Block.
And I don't even know how that goes. Like, I just know the name of it. Like, if you played it right now, at the beginning, the first verse, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you that's Jenny from the Block. So that's what I know, and I know her from Anaconda.
Variety published.
And she's a fly girl on Living Color.
She is in Anaconda for sure. And what did you say was the last one?
She was a fly girl in Living Color with those dancers in between and skits.
Yeah, you're right.
She did not look like then like she does now, which is crazy. She kind of had a bigger nose.
Yeah. Smuff says can't keep destroying people with those prices and fees. It has gotten out of hand.
That's the problem.
The price for live entertainment all the way around. What do you make of the Jennifer Lopez current saga, John? Because Variety wrote a report that was pretty scathing of the audience, saying that there's too many people that are rooting for strong, powerful women to fail, and that is why this is happening. But I then
Swift's not failing.
Well,
I was
that's
about
what
to
I'm saying.
say.
I look at the other side of the coin.
I'm rooting for the strongest, most powerful woman out there.
Taylor Swift is the biggest act in all of show
Beyonce's
business.
not failing.
Yeah, Beyonce is right behind Taylor Swift. I mean, Billie Eilish is one of the biggest ones out there.
Can you pull that card and blame the audience for being misogynistic and not supporting J-Lo because she's a woman? I mean,
No.
I just feel like that's a lazy argument here. I do think the economy is actually a bigger play here, and I think she overvalued exactly what type of interest there would be in her romance with Ben Affleck, because didn't she launch a multi-part documentary series that ended up falling on its face too, all self-financed? It was like $20 million.
Yeah, she did that This Is
Own
Me
money?
Now movie that,
Had a sequel.
yeah, it was awful.
How many nows can you
Were
be?
there unanswered questions in the first one?
This Is Me Now, a love story that has a ton of people in it, but yeah, that's the other thing. How much she's had to pay for all these people to come be in this movie. She is somebody that everything I get, every vibe I get from her. So she did a documentary, and I don't remember what it was on. I want to say Apple, but I'm not sure. It was right after Hustlers came. It was right after she did the Super Bowl. And Hustlers had come out, the movie Hustlers, that it was a pretty critically acclaimed movie. It got nominated for a handful of awards, but come Oscar season, it didn't get anything at the actual Academy Awards, at least anything major. And she thought she was going to get a supporting actress nomination for that because she had been nominated for the Golden Globe. She'd been nominated for most of the other smaller awards. And we were watching it because it was a build up to the Super Bowl. So like, while she was getting ready for it, that's right at Oscar season when the Super Bowl happened. So as she's getting ready and practicing for that with Shakira and everybody, it's like she gets a call from her agent and she's like, okay, I got nominated, right? And they just like, no, sorry, you didn't get a nomination. And she like loses it. It's like, there's only the top 5 people in the world that time. Like
Jennifer.
It's tough to get a nomination. I don't remember what all it was against, but like it gave me this.
And you're filming this.
Yeah, it's all on documentary, and she gave me this. You know, everybody says millennials are entitled, and then I go to after a 50-plus-year-old person and say she sounded very entitled, but she sounded very entitled versus what I hear from Taylor Swift, versus what I hear from Beyonce, versus what I hear from Miley Cyrus, Billie Eilish, any of these other people that you would put as her, peers in the same field of female musicians who are all, by the way, absolutely crushing it, all winning Grammys, selling out stadiums, all of that. I think that shows that it's not a sex thing. It's not a race thing because I made multiple races there. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's just J-Lo's not as big as J-Lo thinks she is. And she goes all out and wants to have the world. And it's like, maybe you could just have like a state. And it's like, I don't want a state. I want the whole world. And she falls on her face because of that.
Rockstar, there's no doubt that she has problems. We all do. We all have issues that we have to face in life. That's what life is. But a lot of her problems are not really relatable for the common average person that are seeing her problems and going like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm so sad for you that you have to like live in separate mansions and all that stuff. I don't know. It just doesn't seem very relatable to people to build her fan base.
But also, what is she?
I
Like,
don't
what
know.
is her draw?
Everything. She's
like,
everything.
I'm not saying she's too old. I'm not saying anything. I just think, what is her draw? Madonna's in her 60s and she's doing great. So it's not an age thing. I just don't understand what is Jennifer Lopez. What is her draw for people to go see it? Like, it's almost saying, I was going to say this, and I bet Laurel knew to go see it. If Paris Hilton said she's going to do a stadium tour, like, what is her draw? Like, yes, you were famous for being famous, but what is your draw?
I would not go see that.
Jennifer
Laurel would go
Lopez.
see
I don't think she would either.
This is the way it's being spun now. She does have a monster hit on her hands, according to the trades,
Yeah.
and that is Atlas, that debuted
Oh,
on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Atlas.
Yeah.
I've only watched
And
the first
it
like 30 minutes of it. It is horrible.
No,
Is it this is
no.
me now, Atlas?
I don't know if you know this. It's a monster hit. Like, that's the way Netflix gets to play the game.
It's
They
the
don't have to
Snyder
go to the
game.
box office. They don't have to rely on people actually spending money. They have to rely on people just saying, oh, that looks flashy, and then click it, watch it for 3 minutes, go, no thanks, and cut it off. And Atlas has supposedly, 1 billion
Bull butterscotch.
hours of... A billion hours streamed or something like
Look,
that.
not to peel back
It's
the curtain
the
too
biggest
much.
movie in the world, and it's huge.
Not to peel back the curtain too much, and I'd say the same thing when we were at radio too. In the medium that we do here, and I'll just use the next round as the example, not us. The medium that we do here, there's a lot of numbers that come along with it, from total views, impressions, hours viewed, minutes viewed, seconds viewed, how many people viewed it for a certain percentage. There's literally every analytical possible way you can break down every single thing on the internet. And it's great for us to have the knowledge of knowing where do we need to improve and stuff like that. But when every time you go to a client or you go to, a listener, or you go to anybody to pump the show up, of the 15 different numbers I can pull, you pick the one that looks the best. Now, the other 14 may look like garbage on something.
Well,
but
that's
that
Netflix's
one
whole business
looks
model.
good, but that's you said hours viewed. Well, for Zack Snyder, it's just how many people click play on Rebel Moon. For everyone, it's all different of just how could it... I hate when they do this. I feel like the NBA does it worse than anything. And I'm not trying to take a shot at the NBA. I just feel like I hear it more there. Of, LeBron...
Rooting for you, Luca.
Get
the job done.
And it seems to happen with LeBron a lot, too, because obviously he leads in a lot of things. But it's like, boy, LeBron had the best 2-minute span from 5 minutes to 3 minutes left in the third quarter in the month of March ever in the history of the NBA. Yeah. And it's like, if you're not the leading scorer of all time or had the best season of all time, nobody really cares past that. You don't need to break it down more than that. But that's the way Netflix is with all of this stuff, that you could find literally anything that exists on Netflix and say, well, of the sci-fi genre that happens to be rated PG-13 that also features Jennifer Lopez, this is the highest viewed movie of all time.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a friend I had in 2011 that made the argument that Dallas was going to get dominated in the paint in the finals because the center of the Miami Heat was averaging in the league. He was leading the league in blocks per minute, but he only played
2 minutes,
several minutes a game. So I'm like, that is such a weird stat to throw out, but he thought he had dug deep into the analytics.
Shaquille O'Neal is 42% at the free throw line when he ties his right shoe first when they're traveling in Atlanta and it's a Thursday. It's a no-hitter.
Netflix.
I just wish Netflix had a view count. Every other website has one.
You will never
see it.
Why can't we know what is actually popular?
Outside of YouTube, you'll never get that on any
And
of those
this is
streaming
what it's going to
platforms.
take. It's going to take the studios playing a little bit dirtier of a game and quitting being transparent about how properties are doing, so that way they can actually drum up more interest, because things in week one are declared winners or losers.
Yep.
Furiosa just suffered that fate. Now, did I personally like the movie? No. But did I go out to see it because I want theatrical exhibition to continue? Absolutely. But what happens is one thing gets labeled as being a stinker, even though Furiosa's a quality movie of how it was produced. It is not a garbage film. Atlas is a garbage film.
It is a garbage film.
Rebel Moon is a garbage film, right?
First one's okay. Second one's garbage.
Okay. Rebel
Wayne and
Moon
Gibbons is
Part
wrong.
2. Furiosa, they just have the problem in all of their dirty laundry is public. And Netflix can hide behind being able to just put anything on the streaming service. I mean, I'm looking at Hubie Halloween. I'm looking at all these garbage films
Halloween, I forgot about
that get put out there.
Hey, I'll defend Hubie Halloween.
Hubie Halloween sucks, okay? It's the worst
Great
Halloween
title,
movie
though.
I've ever seen.
It's pretty bad. It
It's
has
a
its
good
moments, but
title.
it's pretty
Ernest
bad.
Scared Stupid was better.
Bad. Ernest Scared Stupid was a masterpiece compared to Hubie Halloween. The point I'm getting to is Netflix does not have to be transparent, and they're going for the kill of theaters, because if theaters die, how are you going to get movies if you're a movie fan? You're going to have to go through streaming, and who's the dominant leader in streaming right now? Netflix. And in order for them to not have a monopoly, the studio said, you know what, we'll create our own streaming services. And then they fell right into Netflix's trap of undercutting their own theatrical runs by putting things up 3 weeks after they come out. The theater industry is crumbling in front of our eyes. There is no doubt about it. And it's not going to be fixed by repeating the same pattern and expecting a different result. And I'm sick and tired of acting like Netflix isn't out to kill the thing that I love the most.
Take that, J-Lo.
Yes.
That's where it all came
Anyway,
from.
Jennifer Lopez, I blame you. Jennifer Lopez deciding not to continue on with her tour due to wanting to spend more time with family and friends. Like J-Lo, I also enjoy spending time with friends, which is why I love hanging out with my dentist. For years, I was terrified of going to the dentist after experiencing what was the worst dental work and pain of my life, and that's when I met my future friends, Dr. Jeff and Dr. Brian, over on Grants Mill Road at Alabama Dental Associates. They have very flexible office hours, so that way you can visit their professional dental team that they've put together on a more convenient schedule. They're open tonight. They're open late Monday through Thursday. They've got office hours on Friday. They've got office hours on Saturday. You can work them into your schedule if you're looking to find the best dentist in town. Then I have found the solution for you, and I'm so happy to share it with you. They not only have all the latest advancements in dental healthcare technology, but also the friendliest staff in town. If you're ready to find that perfect dental team, reach out and try Alabama Dental Associates for yourself, as they are accepting new patients now at 205-956-8977. Or you can visit them at alabamadental.com, as they look forward to seeing you. All right. We love to play video games here at the Meltdown, and one of our absolute favorite devices over the past few years has been the Nintendo Switch. It's portable and full of games that you can just pop in, download a quick update to, and then have wonderful couch co-op or in-room multiplayer that provides a lot of fun, maybe the best in-room experience in the market. So as Nintendo is ready for their next generation of the Switch, I've tasked John with laying out the features and things that need to be included in its future. It's time to discuss it now on another edition of Luntz's List.
What is this? What is this? Luntz's List, Luntz's List, oh. What is this? What is this? Luntz's List, Luntz's List, oh. Luntz's List to buy. Luntz's List to buy. Luntz's List to buy. Luntz's List to buy.
All right, John, it is now time to name the 5 things you really want to see as a part of the next Nintendo Switch, but we both agree that the Nintendo Switch has really been a great addition to the Nintendo console lineup and has, I think, over-delivered, especially during those times of the pandemic when the Switch just absolutely caught fire. It had stock out there ready for people to get their hands on it, with a bunch of games that were coming out at the right time to be able to have something that they could play within the confines of their own home.
The Switch was great for COVID. The Switch has... Nintendo itself has the most legendary line of games. Mario, which we now know is the highest grossing franchise of all time, thanks to Triple Threat Trivia, and everything that comes with it.
F-Zero.
F-Zero.
What was the Super Nintendo boom that the bazooka called?
I don't remember.
Super Scope or something like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was called like the Super Scope.
Zelda. I mean, there's a lot of games, Pokemon, that all go there, and when it comes to highest grossing of all time, they're all up there.
Metroid.
Metroid up there as well. And all of it comes together in Super Smash Brothers as well, which is a whole franchise in and of itself. But as good as Nintendo is, as great as it is, as fun as you have with it, ultimately, they've always lacked in terms of the functionality of the console in which they put out there, which is kind of interesting and astonishing.
Not all in one device.
No, that, when you turn your Xbox One on, you can watch DVD or Blu-ray if you have a disc port in there.
I watch my 4Ks on there.
You can watch any of these streaming platforms we just railed on. You can play most games that are cross-platform. You can play those. Plenty of exclusives as well. Halo being the biggest one on Xbox. PlayStation, same thing with games like God of War. There's plenty for PlayStation as well. But just the uniques alone are much better on Nintendo, but they have not followed suit. So when it comes to the Switch 2, what do we need to get on this to ultimately make it work?
Let's go ahead and start with number 5 on Luntz's list as we are looking at the Switch features / additions or even stables that need to come back. At number 5.
Do we know when the new Switch is supposed to come out? Because I was looking into getting the OLED model soon.
I will look into that. Let's go to the list, Tyler. What do we see up there?
We got more internal storage.
I've got no problem with
which
that.
needs to be done with every console.
Absolutely
that is
correct.
true. But the Switch is even worse. As small as it just does not have the room or capacity to ultimately have it. So you have to have an SD card to put in there, which also limits your external storage because, like, I have a 5 terabyte hard drive that's hooked up to my Xbox that I just can. I mean, I have never had to delete a game off my Xbox. But for the Switch, you have to get a little SD card, and you can't get a 5 terabyte SD card, or if you can, I can't even imagine how expensive that would be. But, you put that in there, and look, every game for the most part that I want to play now on Switch, because they're all smaller, because the graphics aren't as crazy on the Switch, I can usually fit on there. But overall, it would be nice to just be able to download. I mean, I don't even think I could download, like, let's see, Tears of the Kingdom is a game that everybody's playing right now. Let's say Smash and Mario Kart, and I'll throw Fortnite in there. I don't think all 4 of those would even fit on the Switch, and that's 4 games. Now, they're 4 big ones, especially Zelda is going to be a really, intensive game, but I don't think all 4 of those would even fit on there right now. I have to have a card for those and, like, 2 others to fit on there.
But correct me if I'm wrong. On Xbox and PlayStation, it's a much bigger deal when you have to delete and reinstall compared to the Switch has faster download times.
Yes, because the games aren't as intense. It's a percentage game of, like, the percentage of storage that a game takes is about the same as on Xbox, because on Xbox it may be 100 gigabytes, and on the Switch it may be a tenth of that, but you also have like a tenth of the room. I don't know exactly off the top of my head what it is on the Switch, and I still have the original Switch. Like, I got a Switch when it came out, and I'm still using that one. The one we play with on Thursdays, that's that one. My wife got one during COVID when it was like, everybody was into Animal Crossing. I played Animal Crossing, and I played it every single day. I would sit there during work and play Animal Crossing on my Switch since I was working from home. Don't tell anybody at her old job.
Yeah, give a microphone.
But she went and bought one, and it was just one of the ones that you could just play handheld. It didn't disconnect. You couldn't dock it and stuff like that. It's because she just would lay in bed and play like at night and stuff. And then they had the new OLED version or whatever. So I'm sure the storage is updated over those, but the original one was awful. So they need to bump it up if I'm going to go get a new one. But I'll say this: I haven't had to get a new one. I've had to get, haven't had to get a new PlayStation 5. I've had to update my Series X once, and the Switch has been around longer than all those, and it's still kicking. So,
yeah, I've been really happy with the Switch, and I've used the Switch more than I've used my PlayStation by far.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I brought my PlayStation up here for our Madden League a year and a half ago, and I have not taken it home. That shows how much I play my PlayStation. It's literally we're up here, and that's it.
The Switch has been the most fun we've had with Meltdown Arcade, too, where we just literally...
Oh, yeah. Not to just keep doing the same thing over and over again, but I'd play Smash and Mario Kart every day and just call it a day. I mean...
That'd be fun. All right, let's go to number 4.
We can mix it up and throw some Mario Party in there.
I do want to play Mario Party.
We got to do some Mario
Not
Party.
as much action, but still really fun.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, number 4 on Luntz's list of those 5 features that need to be a part of the next edition of the Switch, which Nintendo announced is happening. I don't know the exact date on that, Tyler, but...
Yeah.
I will be anticipating some sort of additional information on that.
That sounds perverted.
Number
Wireless
4, wireless docking. Which, by the way, Smuff says Super Scope 6.
Super Scope 6.
I don't know if
That's
you
what
heard
it
that.
was.
Sure.
I don't know who that was supposed to be an impression of, but you should do that more often.
That's the standard. That's the standard nerd voice.
Oh, got it.
It's Neil Goldman from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys play High Heat?
Anyway. Number 4, wireless communication with the dock is definitely something that would be nice. It would be nice to be able to hold the Switch how it is, like the Wii U gamepad was, and still be able to play up on the big screen as well. Kind of use it if you're going to play on the TV, still be able to play just using it, but be able to use it as a second screen if you want to. Now you have to either pop it in the actual dock, or I bought a thing on Amazon for like $20 that we use here that plugs in the USB-C, and then it spits out USB-C, HDMI, and I think headphone jack. That all comes from that, and then I can dock it in there. But bottom line, I have to have it plugged in. Yeah. Whereas the whole point of the Switch is to be portable, but you have to give that up if you want to ultimately play on your TV. So if there's a way you could do that and do both, or like if we all had a Switch, another thing that would be cool with the Switch being very multiplayer friendly is if everybody had their own Switches, and let's say there's some game like the way you play Jackbox, it's on the TV, but you use your phone. If you could do something like that with your individual Switch, have that as your second screen you're using for whatever
screen
the game
mirroring.
is, and then
with no delay,
with at least very minimal. I get wireless, you're going to have like microseconds of delay, but like have that up there where that's the actual screen the TV's on, and you're maybe watching like Mario Party. The board stays there, but you play your mini games on your Switch or whatever that may be. Some way to basically communicate with the TV, but that happens through the dock now. So that's why I say basically wireless docking.
Okay, I like it. Let's go ahead and head to number 3 on Les's list, looking for those 5 ways to make the next Switch the perfect piece of machinery.
What if they did you and a bunch of friends, you combine them and make like a Voltron Switch? Turns into like a 20-inch screen TV.
It's possible, I think.
Did I already ruin it, John? Okay.
Bigger Joy-Cons. Absolutely.
No idea what that is. Another thing that sounds perverted.
That's the controllers on the side of the Switch that can
Joy-Cons.
be removed.
Okay.
Yeah. They're handheld devices.
Let's switch in here. No, I took it home. I took it home to try.
There's a box up there.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen it before.
Put the list up. See, so like the little red things that are like snapping into place, that's a Joy-Con. It's a great idea that you can snap those off and basically have 2 controllers with one machine, and you put them together, and it's like having one big controller. But they are so tiny on these big little hands, and I know Tim's probably the same way.
Big little hands are the worst.
Big little hands, yeah.
That Tim and I just cannot hold those. Legit, I mean, do we have to use them sometimes? Sure. For Mario Party, you got to use them. So that's the other thing. Better controller, this kind of goes along with this, better controller compatibility. Like, this is a bootleg one my wife bought, but this is a Switch controller that lights up, but I want to be able to use this with everything. Don't give me Mario Party that I can't use this. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to use this on Mario Party. That's a game that's developed by Nintendo, therefore make it work with everything that your console has to offer. This or a GameCube controller. If you're going to offer a GameCube controller for Smash, let me use it on the others too.
If you can have a controller that can control a submersible to the Titanic, you guys can make a bigger one for the Switch.
Joy-Con.
Tell me about it.
Turned out for them a year ago.
Tell me about it. I like the Pro Controller the best because it's just basically like an Xbox controller, but let me use it with it. I mean, there's zero reason why this can't be used and everything. And if you got to kill a couple buttons because like a Joy-Con's not going to have as many buttons as this, that's fine. Just let me use A and B instead of A, B, X, Y. That's fine. But
or just add a controller mapping setting.
Or that.
Like there is for PC. You fix all your problems.
And game by game, sometimes they have that. But bottom line, if the Joy-Con was able to fit, and I get, like, Tim and I have bigger hands than the average person probably. But still, like, there's got to be a little something to it. Plus, the biggest thing is, and I don't know how you do this, there's 2 joysticks. On any standard controller, there's 2 joysticks. So with the Joy-Con, you only have 1. How do you ultimately fix that? Because if you basically have 4 when you connect them in there, I don't know. I don't know a way to get around that. But I feel like there's a way to make a Joy-Con better that an engineer can do better than me, and ultimately make that fit better. And just when you're holding the Switch all together, make it a little bigger as well.
20 years ago, John, how often did you play video games in the same room with people? 20 years ago.
A lot.
And now, how often do you do that?
Every Thursday.
Once a week here.
Right. And I hate how much consoles have basically taken people out of the same room. Yep. Like it's pushing people away from one another compared to connecting to them like, the 20 years ago, the devices we had did. And I feel like the Switch is sort of the last one that still cares about that in-room, in-person experience. And you're right. It is a bummer when we're wanting to play Mario Party and we don't have enough Joy-Cons to be able to pull that game off to where everyone can play at the same time.
I was trying to find, I made a list of games for us to play on the Switch moving forward, like other than basically Smash, Mario Kart, and Mario Party. Games that were legitimate that we could actually play and probably enjoy that you didn't have to use Joy-Cons was like 3.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and go to number 2 on Luntz's list. So far, a very strong list here and all very worthy, not just vapid complaints. These are things that John wants to see that will improve the Switch experience for the next one that comes out from Nintendo. Tyler, you've been thinking about getting the OLED one, or?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on price, and also when the next Switch is coming out, and how much storage these Switches have, because
I will say what the better move may be is to go ahead and get the OLED one, but after the new one comes out. Does that make sense? Because they'll slash the prices on those, and you'll be able to get probably full functionality of a really great console while everyone loses their mind over the new one.
see, that would be the smart thing to do, but I also want to practice Mario Kart and Smash for Thursdays.
I understand what you're saying. All right, number 2, voice chat, and I do feel like we bastardized the system because we use Xbox Live's voice chat while playing Switch.
Most of the time, you're going to have your consoles in one place. You're not going to hey, this is my Xbox room, this is my PlayStation room, this is my Switch room.
Unless you're J-Lo.
Yeah, unless you're J-Lo or Ben Affleck in their mansions. But voice chat, and look, there may be voice chat functionality. I honestly don't know, but if it's docked, then it's hard to be plugged into something. Is there a headphone jack on this? There's not. See, there's not even a headphone jack on this.
That's a problem with a lot of controllers.
So make it where voice chat is easier. And honestly, I wish they would make it where I could just unplug, let's say this headset, this had a microphone on it.
Yeah.
I could just unplug that, plug it in here, and be good to go with my voice chat. I can't hear myself now, but do that with, I go from Xbox to PlayStation to Switch, and do you sell as many unique headsets? No. Do you make everybody happy? Yes. How much is happiness worth for anybody? The answer is there's not enough money in the world to make everybody happy. But
unfortunately, that is correct.
Make it somewhat easy to do, to have good voice chat on.
It's a necessity for modern gaming. I mean,
it is.
Since we are so pushed apart by the industry, I think that having that voice chat is the only thing that's kind of keeping people together.
And the thing that Xbox, and I get this is a Windows thing, but we use Xbox voice chat to play games with each other. I have not actually played on my Xbox in almost 4 years. Pretty much since we had our COVID run of where we played every night, I have not touched my Xbox. We played Xbox the other night, but I'm playing it, streaming it through my computer, and I'm doing Xbox Live on my computer. I can pull up Xbox Live right now on this desktop that I'm running the show on because it's a Windows computer and it has Xbox on there. All of our computers out for the next round, we can play Xbox on, technically. But you have to have it connected to the same Wi-Fi network that's currently down. So, that's what I do is I have a mixer at home for, recording spots and stuff like that. I go through my mixer to talk to you every single time, and there's been times it's messed up. But, we play Rocket League. You're on your Xbox. I'm playing through the Epic Game Store on my PC, but we're using Xbox Live Chat on my computer. We're playing Switch.
So much.
We're playing Switch. I'm on my Xbox Live Chat on my computer. You're on your Xbox. So we're both using multiple things at that point. Make it easier to do it on the Switch.
I remember watching Tech TV as a young gamer that saw a demo for Mech Assault on Tech TV.
Yep.
And that was the first game where I remember there was actually a live voice chat feature during the game.
My first one was Rainbow Six 3.
This is incredible. This is going to make gaming revolutionary. Where are we going to be 20 years from now? And now it's
the controllers are too small.
Can you hear me? No, you don't sound good. You sound good. You sound better now? Check 1 2. It's the whole time you're trying to figure out how to get that right balance. I'm surprised we don't have better voice chat across the board in the entire industry.
My first game was Rainbow Six 3, and it came with a headset.
I love that game.
So that was my first Xbox Live experience and headset, because this is before Halo 2. This is because Halo itself you couldn't play online. And I remember it also had in-game voice commands for your team. So you would be playing with 3 other NPCs with you, and you could say, breach the door. You push a button, breach the door, and they would go and breach the door in front of you or something. I love that. And somehow games don't even have that. In actual games, you can't communicate with NPCs anymore. Somehow I could back, this would have been 2004. when I got it, it was my birthday of 2004 that I got that. So also when I'm in my first gamer tag, the thing got hacked and is now attached to my EA account. That last night during poker, I went and sat in my office after I got eliminated for like an hour. I was on with EA support the entire time. I've been doing it for over a week, trying to connect my actual gamer tag to my EA Sports game so that I don't have to switch gamer tags to play with Tim. That's the other thing. To get back to my lunches list from before. When it comes to accounts,
too many.
I'm talking to Tim on one gamer tag. I'm playing against him in NHL on another gamer tag that is attached to my EA account that I had to make for that game because I had a different gamer tag. I had my original gamer tag on my EA account that I'm currently using.
It sounds like a personal problem.
It got hacked, and so I made a second gamer tag like 10 years ago, and now I can't connect, and I've been talking back and forth with EA support. EA support is pure garbage. They told me to be done within 2 hours on Friday night. Then Saturday night, again, 24 hours later, it'll take 24 to 48 hours. Last night, it's been 72 hours. It'll take 4 to 5 days. So I'm going to contact them in a few days when it reaches 5 days. And they're going to say, sorry, it takes 1 to 2 weeks. It's kind of a fun game now to see. I'm just going to cancel it all and make a new account altogether.
Yes. EA Sports. Cancel my subscription.
You just stepped right over.
It's fine. It was bad. It was bad anyway.
Smuff says he uses Discord. We have used Discord for stuff as well.
We have used Discord, yeah. John, for those looking to switch up their nutrition routine, maybe they should have a voice chat with Leslie over at Way to Wellness.
Go and see Leslie in person like Tim and I do. We're going again this week some point to get a weigh in. We're over 70 pounds down combined. There's Leslie in the background as Tim is weighing in. And look how happy we look getting on that scale and seeing that number going down with our friends at Way to Wellness. Planforme.com is the place we went. Tim has a plan. I have a plan. Jim Dunaway has a plan. My dad has a plan. It's a whole family and friends affair there at Way to Wellness. Planforme.com can get you that consultation and get you on a plan as well. As you see us getting our blood pressure checked there, they do everything to make sure we're happy, just like Tim is right there at Way to Wellness.
So happy for sure over at Way to Wellness. All right, time to get to that number one spot on Lunce's list.
I guarantee I know it. Can I go and spoil it?
Go ahead.
Better compatibility with Virtual Boy.
Nope, that's not going to be it, unfortunately. I said partially right? I hate when your jokes, Rockstar, have actual validity to them. All right.
Full backwards compatibility.
Amen.
Absolutely.
We were talking about this last night.
PlayStation still struggles with this.
There's only one reason I would not have made this number one on my list, and that is because I would not want to have to get up on the board and spell all this out.
That's a fair.
Just use an acronym.
And back to voice chat. Nintendo even had that back in like '98. There was a Pokemon game where you controlled Pikachu and you could give him voice commands.
Through the game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Pikachu, heal.
Now, this is kind of a two-parter. Full backwards compatibility, so everything can carry over, but also remaster more old games, too. That kind of sort of goes with this. Now, I'm fine repaying for like a remastered Wind Waker or something like that, which is my favorite game of all time. But if I want to just play Wind Waker, give me a way to play Wind Waker. I've said Wind Waker a lot.
But there are a lot of games that are available to be played.
Not near enough on the Switch. Now, the Wii did a much better job of this, where you could take a GameCube disc and put it in there. It doesn't use disc anymore. It uses SD cards to do everything. So you cannot play without rebuying anything other than actual just Switch games. And even the marketplace, you cannot go buy Wind Waker now. You have to get an old console if you want to play that. So have more older games just available, period. But I hope everything for the Switch does carry over to the Switch too. I don't know if they said it will or not officially.
I do think a lot of Nintendo's business model is to eliminate backwards compatibility so that way they can continue to repackage old IP for people to purchase.
And I'm fine if they just make all of the other games available. They don't do that either.
They don't.
So
it's like I said, Wind Waker's
best game of all time. I can't play it.
It's like the Disney Vault. If you don't act now, it's going to be locked away forever. I kind of fell into that trap with Super Mario. I think it's called Mario All-Stars 3D or something. That was
the RPG.
No. I may be mixing them up, but it was I think it's Super Mario All-Stars or something, where it had a combination of Mario 64, it had a combination of Mario Sunshine, and it had Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
I saw that
And
on sale the other day.
They were all 3 packaged in the same game, and they said that they were getting rid of the physical copies of that. They were taking them off of store shelves on an official date. And I was like, well, I got to go get that because I love at least 2 of those games, and I need to go to purchase that. And I did feel like that sense of urgency of having to go capture that thing. So they could probably figure out a way to do that with your version of full backwards compatibility that would be profitable for them and also rewarding for you. Because I know you would buy.
I would easily spend $60 for
Right.
a remastered version of Wind Waker. I'd probably pay $60 for the old Wind Waker, just completely the way it was. Smuff mentions they have NES and SNES on there, which, like, we use that to play Super Mario World the other day on Meltdown Arcade. But it kind of stops after Nintendo 64. When it comes to the GameCube, when it comes to the Wii U, all of that is basically gone into the ether now because they only want the super old stuff for, oh, that'd be cool, we'll put Super Nintendo on there. All of that takes no space to put all those games on your console, but everything else doesn't really exist. So either remaster it and give us the greatness that they've had for a long time, or just give it to us, period.
They could just do what PlayStation does, where if you I think it's the PlayStation Plus Ultimate, they're like top tier subscription, you can stream a lot of old games, and there's like a huge selection of PlayStation 1 and 2, and they've started adding PlayStation 3 titles on there too.
We randomly
now.
played Street Fighter 2.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We had to stream it because I was like, I'm not going to download it, I'll stream it. That's a nothing game, and I mean, it played pretty well for
Yeah,
just
it was fun.
streaming it.
Played fun.
It was super fun. Rockstar, what video game would you say you've spent the most time on in your life? Any system, any console? Were you ever infatuated with gaming?
Yeah, I would say Bond, the Bond game.
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye in high school, doing GoldenEye. Joe Namath Sports Talk Football 94, NHL 94 on Sega, which was one of the best NHL games ever.
They re-released NHL
Yeah.
94 here recently,
Oh,
so we
I
should
have it on
play
my
that.
Xbox, yeah.
We should make that a day.
I played a lot of FIFA. I did play a lot of college football back in the day. The last cover I had, Carson Palmer was on the cover. So was that recent?
Nope.
His
That
USC
was-
jersey. That's the last
Wouldn't say
version
so.
of college football I had. But a bunch of those, and I love the
Time ago.
Borderlands. I love Borderlands. I loved Far Cry. I've never played Halo.
Smuff says Batman on Nintendo. I played I think it's called The Adventures of Batman and Robin on the Super Nintendo, which was based after the animated series, and that game was awesome.
Oh, Bart's Nightmare is one of the best Super Nintendo games ever.
I do find it interesting how much gaming culture has changed, right? You
Yeah.
used to really have to go off the box art of knowing whether or not it was something you were going
Like
to give
Home
a try.
Alone. Oh, that looks like a good game.
Give it a try. The Batman Forever game was awful. But now you kind of have to go off of a digital screen and other people's hype and reviews, and then you have to watch playthroughs, and you have to like really make an educated guess as to whether it's worth your $70. Every single one of these hunts ends up being one where you have $70 on the line every single time you want to make a decision of whether you want to play a game. And that can be quite frustrating, Tyler, to feel like you have buyer's remorse as soon as you choose to download something.
Oh yeah, and y'all listing those games just made me realize I really miss movie tie-in video games. There were a lot of really solid THQ games for like the PlayStation 2, but I mean now
Talking about Spider-Man games?
Spider-Man games, the SpongeBob games, but now THQ is now defunct. So
Yeah.
Not getting those anymore.
THQ made a bunch of great wrestling games as well, but
yeah, they made
Nitro.
all the SmackDown games back in the day before 2K took over.
yeah, it's a whole different sort of life now with these
Last
things.
wrestling game I played was WCW versus NWO.
Oh, that was probably 2 years ago, right?
Was it WCW NWO Revenge, or was it World Tour, or
It
you
was
don't remember?
just WCW versus
all
NWO.
it was?
It was not a big one. It was a PS1.
I think my favorite wrestling game of all time is WCW NWO Revenge. I played that thing non-stop. Got it on Christmas, and it was just one of those things.
Who was your
where-
wrestler?
The Giant.
The Giant.
Yeah.
The Giant.
So there we go. Okay. Enough of a trip down memory lane there. Let's now go ahead and take a trip to the Star Wars universe, which a lot of people, their best experiences with Star Wars, they all are memories, and they're not willing to make any new experiences. We do get a new Star Wars experience tonight. However, it is built once again for the small screen and not the big screen, as the movies of Star Wars have really hit a roadblock. We're all expecting that Mandalorian movie, but that's even something that originated on the small screen. What is the future of Star Wars film? We'll talk about that another day, but today we get Star Wars television and The Acolyte, which streams tonight on Disney+. We did a trailer reaction to this a couple of months ago with our first look at it. If you want to go back and see what we first thought of The Acolyte, it has been a promotional tour that has underwhelmed me personally. It looks cheap to me. I hope that I am blown away by this. I'm not going in hating this or anything. I don't have an agenda. I'm not someone who wants to see the franchise absolutely burned to the ground. I love Star Wars and I want good Star Wars when I can get it. And I've liked a lot of things that Disney has put out. But I am going in a little bit hesitantly to The Acolyte, which is set a century before the collapse of the Republic, in a series that promises to go all in on Jedi sort of lore and the Jedi Order. And it's an 8-episode season. We plan to react to the show each week in a separate video series. The first 2 episodes drop tonight, with remaining episodes streaming weekly on Tuesdays. John, how excited are you personally for The Acolyte on Disney+?
I'm excited because outside of Boba Fett, which is really Mandalorian 2.5, I've enjoyed everything that has come, live action that has come. I've never really consumed the cartoons, but Mandalorian really good, Ahsoka really good. I was late to Andor, but it was really, really good. So I'm interested. Obi-Wan, I thought was pretty good. It was not as good as the others.
Hit or miss.
Overall, it was good. I'm interested to see more outside of the Skywalker saga, and that's what this is, 100 years before everything starts. So I'm interested to see that aspect of it.
Which Disney has never truly felt comfortable doing, getting outside of
and
that
that's what
saga.
they need to do, because it's like even Mandalorian, that's still in the Skywalker saga. We're going to do another Rey movie. Well, that's still in the Skywalker saga, even though it's after Episode 9. That's everything they do is Skywalker, that I don't want the Skywalker name to exist anywhere because...
Well, what about Rogue One, John? Well, Rogue One had a complete tie-in to the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
What about Solo? Solo had a complete tie-in to that.
Solo's about Han Solo, who's the main character in it. And then who's the coolest part of Rogue One? Darth Vader, which is Anakin Skywalker.
Or Princess Leia, depending on who you ask.
Leia Organa / Skywalker. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it from the sense that it's different. So that alone puts it up in my book. But... I don't know. I wasn't as down on it as y'all were after we watched the trailer, so I'm interested in it. I mean, we'll see what it's like after a couple of episodes tonight.
I would be shocked if you don't like this series, and you would be shocked if I do like this series.
Probably
and that's how a lot of Star Wars fans are approaching things. But I don't know why you have that opinion of me. I'm just being completely honest here. You fly the Disney Star Wars flag very feverishly. You don't hide that at all.
Just fly the Disney flag.
You fly the Disney flag very much.
I'm not as down the MCU either as other people are.
You aren't. They need a shot in the arm. That's a whole nother discussion. But there's a lot of people going in tonight to hate watch this. And I'm not going in to hate watch this. But they got to give me enough ammunition to champion it. That's the way I feel. And I feel like you're going to champion this thing regardless. Tell me I'm wrong.
We each have our things we do that for.
So you know you're going to.
You do it all the time too. We all do it all the time for certain things.
Okay. Is there something in particular that you feel like I champion that isn't of good quality? Or isn't of indefensible inaccuracies? Or is there something off the top of your head that you would throw out that
Halloween better than Rob Zombie?
Halloween's actually probably the strongest argument.
Halloween was going to be my argument.
Even though
Rob Zombie is not the answer that I would necessarily say.
Jaws is better than The Meg, which is not true.
I think Halloween Ends was my least favorite movie of the year that it came out, and it was probably my most anticipated.
Guess what? It ain't ended yet.
I just feel like I'm going in with a fair and objective mind on this, and I feel like you're going in definitely biased, and that you're going to find ways to defend this thing, even if it's not good. However,
almost everything they've done has been good.
It could be great. So we're going to have this is what's going to create a great discussion for us tomorrow with our first Acolyte review of episodes 1 and 2. And I'm hoping that it can remain civil throughout whatever is going to happen to the Jedi Order here.
Hey, if you want to go to MyBookie and place a bet on we're the opposite, that I don't like it and Tim does like it, you could get really rich.
Yes, we'll tell you more about MyBookie here in just a few moments.
We all call it your review Lights, Camera, Acolyte.
Lightsaber.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Cantina,
That doesn't make sense.
Acolyte. Okay.
No.
I'm working on it. Let's see if we can go to something else that John is actually going to dismantle here verbally.
By the way, I do agree with that guy. He said it's really hard for me to hate a show or movie. It's really hard for me to hate something now. There are things I hate. But overall, I would say my grades on average per year are higher than most people.
What'd you think
It's
of
not
the
necessarily
thing?
a bad thing.
The thing I did not like.
Okay.
Didn't say I hate it. I just said I didn't like it.
Go check out our retro trailer reactions
You're not a
and
fan.
double check on
Did
that
I ever
for
say
us, chat.
I hate this movie?
Well, I could say I despise it. I didn't say I hated it.
Okay, well, did I ever say the words I hate this movie?
Back to that Netflix discussion.
What's the
Exactly.
what's the movie in question right now?
The thing.
The Thing?
Did I say I hate this movie?
I don't remember, but I know you did, but I don't know if you actually said those
I
words.
said I don't like this movie.
Okay.
Okay.
You rated it half a star. What's hating after
I
that?
didn't rate it half a star.
This isn't meant to. No, it is kind of meant to stir up old wounds. I'm going to say it. I walk into the poker room last night.
I
There's
rated
a
it 1 star.
huge Love Lies Bleeding poster now in the poker room, just as like a giant middle finger
Awesome poster.
to anybody
so,
who
John,
ever
was
brought
that
up
movie
anything.
profitable? Can we bring that argument back up?
We don't have to make that argument. Let's get into this.
I hate for the movies we've talked about now. I could probably say are not profitable.
A movie that you already hate, John, that is Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus, which we saw the first trailer released for today. It promises to take the Alien franchise back to its roots. While scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonizers come face to face with the most terrifying life form from the universe. We did a trailer reaction, which will be up later today, as we got a chance to witness this for the very first time together. John, are you hot or cold on Alien Romulus after seeing the first full trailer today?
The sci-fi and CGI of it looks cool, but I know it's going to be a horror movie, and it went all in on horror movie and crude things I don't want to dream about tonight, so I'm cold on it. It's not my thing.
Is something that I am really excited about. I think Aliens, there's a perfect time right now for people to go into a creature feature and have just a fun thrill ride on a space station and go like, okay, this movie it's promoting itself as being something that it's going to deliver on when I go sit in the theater. And I think that's the key to getting more people back to the movie screens, which is what we're going to see in the month of August. I think there's a few films that have a chance to be breakout hits in the month of August. What did you think, Tyler, of Alien Romulus with the first full trailer?
I was already hot on this one. It quickly became one of my most anticipated movies of the year after seeing the teaser in theaters. After seeing this full trailer, En Fuego, this is definitely my most anticipated movie of the year, aside from maybe Joker.
I thought you had Beetlejuice as
Beetlejuice is up there too.
Oh my gosh.
This is past it though.
We're getting into an August, September, October time frame where there's going to be a lot of things that excite us. And I'm looking forward to getting to those moments for sure. It really all kind of kicks off with, there's Twisters and then Deadpool and Wolverine and then a whole bunch of August fanfare to get to.
A new popcorn bucket for the studio.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Rockstar.
Yes.
You, after going through our retro trailer reaction of Alien, I know this is a franchise that you do have some affinity for. You liked Prometheus, just
Love
like me and
Prometheus.
John.
Love Prometheus.
I saw it multiple times in the same weekend, really enjoyed it.
I'll watch it whenever it's on.
Yes, but it is a divisive film because a lot of people want it to just be xenomorphs wrecking shop. And that's what this movie is promising to be. Is it enough to get you to go to the theater and really enjoy it opening weekend?
No, and I love Alien. Like, Alien's such a slow burn, and this one just looks like a bunch of jump scares. Like, they turned it into gore and jump scares, and I love how many times, Tim, how many times can the last scene of an Alien trailer be the damn xenomorph with the little mouth opening to a scared girl?
Every single time.
Like, how that's the final, but it's like, how can you, we're stuck in a spaceship trying to escape an alien. That's the thing. How can we make this innovative in a new way to kind of, is this before Prometheus, after Prometheus? When is this?
This is definitely after Prometheus.
Place between Alien 1 and Aliens.
Okay.
So it's the fourth chronologically?
It seems
Prometheus,
to be
Covenant,
correct.
Alien.
I will see it, but I'm I think it's just going to be a bunch of jump scares, and it's like I think that's kind of cheap to do jump scares with such a good idea to ruin it with jump scares. I hate jump scares.
I just wonder if it's going to be able to be pulled off without something lurking and then jumping out of the shadows, right? That's what you would consider to be a jump scare.
And the stop of the music.
I don't consider xenomorphs hunting their prey to be as much of a jump scare as someone randomly walking through a house and then something jumps out at them, in the closet.
Jump scare is going to be the face grabber thing. That's going to be the jump scare.
It is a bit of a jump scare to where you're like, ooh, look at this egg. And it jumps on you.
Yeah, that's and the gurgly sounds.
Yeah.
But no,
this trailer every 5 seconds had a squish in it.
Yeah.
And
an F-bomb.
It's like the door opens.
Yeah.
So are we split 2 versus 2 on the Alien Romulus
I think I'll
trailer?
see. I'm lukewarm on it.
But you don't like the trailer.
No, I didn't like the trailer.
I thought the trailer was pitch perfect.
I thought the teaser was better than the trailer.
Oh, the trailer
I
was
agree
good.
with that.
I agree with that. But that's because the teaser was perfection.
Yeah.
And it was not going to be able to be matched with going longer.
See, the teaser was all about building up to like, oh, this is going to be a horror movie. This, to me, I thought the trailer was good for what it is. I just know it's not my cup of tea. That this showed more CGI in it. It's not just because like the teaser is just kind of going through the ship. It's not about like showing space and stuff like that. That this showed more of the sci-fi that I know it's not going to be enough to pull me in the theater, but it looked good that I'm like, okay, this looks like a well put together movie and I'm sure it'll make money and I'm sure it'll get rave reviews and everything. It's just not my thing, but I thought the trailer at least was.
Do you think it'll do it just as good as the Jake Gyllenhaal classic Life?
I've actually never seen that movie. I want to see it.
It's actually
It's Alien.
very good.
It's
it
not
is
awful,
Alien.
but it's Alien. It's so weird. This is Alien.
It's much better than I thought it would be. Ryan Reynolds in that movie as well.
Not for long.
Well, yeah.
Spoilers.
Good gosh, Rockstar.
Now I know.
2014.
Hey, y'all should check out this movie. It's really good. Oh, really? Yeah, let me tell you everything that happens. Like, oh, crap.
I said he could have driven away. I ran to your camera. Sorry. Got me upset.
I'm going to do
Speaking of Han Solo, let me tell you something.
I'm going to do a spoiler on Life here since Rockstar's let the cat out of the bag. Ryan Reynolds in the movie Life has, I think, the most
No life.
painful death sequence I've seen in any movie ever.
Spoiler.
I'm
kidding. It's a
you
kid. I'm
lobbed it
kidding.
up. I spiked it down.
Yeah. It's
That's
like me
what
ruining
happened.
Top Gun. Come on.
Anyway, I'm excited for this. It looks like it's got the best parts of both Alien and Aliens put into one movie, and I'm excited about it. I do wonder if it's going to require too much nostalgia to get over the finish line, or if it's going to be something that can really kind of stand on its own. We shall see, but this looks like it could be a top-tier Alien movie into the franchise.
And it also was like they went with a much younger cast.
Yeah.
The cast looks very young. They don't have like the standard Sigourney Weaver type.
Yeah. John, we have a very busy week coming up here.
Yes.
For the remainder of the week, for sure. We have Meltdown Arcade returning on Thursday. Tomorrow we have our Team Trivia League, which, if you didn't know, round 1 is going to feature your parents who... Have they come up with a team name?
They're leaning Team Second Effort because that's like their charitable work they do through Second Effort.
That's
so
great.
That's, you give it a second effort to get that answer, and there's 2 of them now. So.
Oh, you wouldn't let me justify my name, but you're like, which is, and they,
Y'all are the little kicks. I have already done it. I have a cool picture of Elaine doing the kick and everything for your logo, so you're good.
it's supposed to
great.
be little kids playing soccer, but whatever.
Yes, Rockstar and Laurel make up Team Little Kicks. Is it the Little Kicks or just Little Kicks?
I like the little
Team
kids.
the Little Kicks?
Fix
Well,
that.
how
grab
did you
it
make
for us.
it, John?
I said Team Little Kicks, but
That's what it's gonna be.
I would rather it be the Little Kicks, not Team the Little Kicks. You don't have to put
that's
team
what
in front.
the little kicks.
Yeah. Team Little Kicks, that'll work. And we have Team D&B, Team Dunaway and Brown. It's going to be quite a showdown tomorrow as we are looking to make the most of our tag team tornado tournament that's going to be taking place over the month of June.
I thought about the tornado name. So you said tornado means everybody's live, right?
Yes.
The format in which you have laid out there, everybody is not live. So I don't know if I would call it
That is
tornado.
not necessarily correct, John.
You have to tag in somebody if you want your partner to be with you.
But everyone's still available to be used at all times.
So are they in a tag team match? You just go tag your partner, and they're available
Tornado
to be
starts with a T, and I want to put as many T's in there as possible. That's what it comes down
used.
to.
Trauma.
Call it Texas Tornado then while you're at it.
I may do that.
Oh my God.
Oh
I
my
was
gosh,
kidding.
thank you, John. You've given me
Triple
a great
threat
idea.
trivia, Texas Tornado tag team qualifier.
Trauma.
Tag team trivia. So there's already 2 trivias.
Together strong.
And you forgot to use the word tournament in there. Okay, John.
Tag team tournament.
On Friday, this is something we're really excited to announce. We are going to be taking the show on the road on Friday as we head down to Restore Hyper Wellness in Mountain Brook, right down the road, John. For those that know where the summit is, just keep traveling a little bit further and you will find us right there at the Cahaba Village Plaza on Highway 280.
Yes, I will put on all of our social media accounts exactly the times and where we will be there. But looking forward to going out to Restore. We were out there and did the cryotherapy together. It was a fun experience as we rocked out to Voodoo Child, our old theme song.
We did.
For prime time.
Good tune.
It was a good tune and did that. Instantly felt better. Tim had some elbow pain. I had some back pain. We walked out feeling perfectly fine. I did the leg compression as well. That helped. So, yeah, we're looking forward to going out there. They have IVs. They have compression. They have cryo. They have red light therapy. They have all kind of stuff. We'll put more information out there as we get closer to Friday. Come on out and see us. And, yeah, you can get some of that awesome treatment as well.
Rockstar, it was very embarrassing going out there, and I'll tell you why. And that was because they asked, like, do you have any sort of, sports injuries or anything nagging with you? And I go, I shoot pool every week, and I've got this elbow that it's kind of got just a little hiccup in it, and I don't know, from shooting pool, it's kind of giving
Would
me
it
a
be
little bit
mine?
problem.
Do you have to use? I have a heel spur. Oh, from running? Nope. Don't know where it came from.
Yeah,
I think it's from walking too aggressively, but I have a heel spur.
Then they asked John, like, do you have any sports injuries? As well, as a state championship winning athlete.
Oh my God.
And I
Did
he
not
didn't
say that.
He didn't say that.
I said I've had back problems ever since I played football.
Well, he started bringing up certain things.
Mine's from football. His is from pool.
Right. He started bringing up certain things that emasculated me there.
Yeah.
And I feel a little self-conscious about it because I got to go first and I was very transparent and vulnerable.
And he went 8-ball quarter pocket.
And he,
Yeah.
yes, he did. Anyway, we're looking forward to going out once again to Restore, and we certainly hope you will come out and see us. We'd love to have you. Make sure you visit Ethan there at Restore. Helpful in every capacity. Cannot talk enough about just how excited we are about creating that customized plan that is going to make sure that we are dealing with our pain management in the appropriate way, because when you feel better physically, you feel better emotionally, John. And that is something we're looking forward to there at Restore. So we'll be reminding you about that this week, but we hope to see everybody out there on Friday. One place you can head right now to go ahead and get the most out of your bankroll, John, that is our title sponsor, MyBookie.
MyBookie.ag, playing the sports book there as 2 days till the NBA Finals and 4 days till the Stanley Cup Finals. You can bet on those there. Also, baseball going on constantly. Go play in the casino, go play in the slots, and go play in that live casino as well. Blackjack, my game of choice there with the live dealers. You actually get to see the cards dealt in front of you. It's incredible to play that. Feel like you're in Vegas or Tunica or Biloxi or wherever you like to go. Play that online at mybookie.ag. Use promo code next round. You see it right here in the corner. It's always there. Promo code next round. Get a first deposit bonus on us. When you make that first deposit, you get a little extra thanks to here at the next round, the Meltdown, and our friends at mybookie.ag, where you can bet anything, anytime, anywhere.
We have your mom in the chat saying that her team doesn't stand a chance against Rocky and Laurel.
That's what she keeps saying.
Don't do that. Don't still start that. No.
Is that reverse psychology,
Yes,
or
it
is she
is.
being genuine?
I think she's being genuine, but
or is it a tactic?
I have been quizzing my wife every single day. She's like, ask me questions. So I always ask questions that have been asked because they may or may not be asked again. And then
Ouch.
Ooh,
That
lazy,
was- I need to go to
lazy.
cryotherapy after that
Lazy.
burn. That was a burn, right?
And
there.
then and every time I ask her a question, there's a lot of them. She's like, "Oh, well, I'll get Sean to answer that." It's like
Yep.
sometimes you're not always going to have that option.
Yep.
You need to be able to answer some of these too. So she's gotten some of them. I think when it comes to pop culture stuff, she'll do well. But
She will always have that option because it's Tornado Tag Team format.
Oh my, is it tornado format?
except
There's
for
a
when the
little
wheel
bit.
comes up and she has to.
That's
do
true.
something.
There are some things like you could get hit. Your partner could get hit in the head with a steel chair, and that knocks them out. You have to then
That
fight
is what
them
the
off.
wheel feels like every time. Oh, we got a wheel spin every time.
Anyway, tomorrow's trivia is going to be, as the kids say, lit.
Lit like a fire.
You knew exactly where I was going. Look at this symbiosis here
Because
happening.
we're old.
All right, you can check out our trailer reaction to not only Alien Romulus later today. It will be out on the channel for you to enjoy, but also you can check out our trailer reaction to Venom, The Last Dance, which we uploaded yesterday. Lots of trailer reactions there, lots of reviews to all the latest movies that are there in the Cineplex. As we're all looking forward to seeing The Watchers later this week, and we'll give you our non-spoiler review on the live show on Friday from Restore. We appreciate all of your support. Make sure you like this video, really does help the channel, and hit that subscribe button if you have not yet already. For the entire Meltdown crew, we'll see you again tomorrow for Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia Tag Team Tornado Tournament Texas Championship fun. It'll be happening right here.